Did you vote Trump?
Yeah.
Why so?
Based off his last term, I like how it was, how the everything was ran.
Okay, can you name one
Based
Trump?
off of
Can you name one Trump policy he influenced to get passed that you like?
policy. Oh no, I can't. I don't care about policy. I just like how the country was running, booming. Everything was
Okay,
better.
what? Okay, what
Trump,
about the country was better?
everything. People
Everything.
were more.
Like what
People were more
specifically?
happier. Things.
People were
So, like I just
happier.
said, people.
What evidence do you have that people were happier?
Based off how things were moving and how homes were being bought by younger people at a younger age. People can't even afford to rent out a place nowadays. You can.
Okay, so you're talking
People
about
are.
affordability. So
So
you
hold
said
on. So the housing was booming. The housing sells now. People won't even sell their homes; they're just renting because they don't have enough money.
okay.
So
We're
if
gonna
they
well,
rent it, they
let me
can.
address that. Let me address that. So you said price increased under the administration, therefore you blame the administration. While eggs prices have gone up under Trump's administration, do you blame Trump for the increase of eggs prices?
Never said I blame them for the price increase, and I blame them for the housing
The egg
marketing.
prices
Not
increase because of the amount of bird dead chickens that have died because of the bird flu.
I understand, but the point I'm making is that just because it happened under the administration does not mean it's caused by the
But
president.
that has nothing to do with Trump or Biden. That has something
Exactly,
to do
that's
with
the
the fact
point
of
that I'm
the bird
making.
flu.
That's exactly the point I'm making.
Okay, so egg
Just because it
prices
happens,
don't factor into that.
I don't think Trump caused egg prices to go up. That's not what I was arguing.
Right, but the way that I've watched your live so many times, and I'm just going to say this, like, you're making it out to seem as if it's because of the Trump administration, or why didn't Trump reduce the price of eggs? It has nothing to do with that. It's
No,
because of the amount of birds that
listen.
have died because of the bird
I
flu.
that is not
understand.
what
I
he's saying.
understand.
That's not what he's saying.
Just let me
He's
explain what
saying
I'm listening. Let me
if
explain
I
myself.
he's saying if the eggs went up, then it's because of Trump, and if the housing market went up, then it's because of Biden. And he says, well, if it's because of neither, then neither of it happened because of the president.
Let me explain my point. So, just because it happens under the administration does not mean it's caused by the president. He was saying that just because the price went up under the Biden Harris administration, he was blaming the Biden Harris administration. And what I was saying was that you can't just blame the president because it happened under the administration in the same way that you don't blame Trump for eggs prices increasing just because it happened under his administration. We identify there are external causes like bird flu that lead to us having to kill chickens, which will then lead to an increase in the price of eggs. I totally agree. That's the cause of the increase in the price of eggs. But what that means then is that just because it happens under the administration does not mean it's caused by them.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
So
so
can you name me a policy user? Can you name me a policy of Trump's that you like?
Here's the thing. I'm not going to get into policies with you because you also, I'm sure, have Google up and whatever. And
I don't.
so my thing is the reason why I support Trump is I'm a first generation immigrant. My a first generation American, excuse me. My parents came here legally, right? I am all for the immigration. I live in the city of Chicago. I see what it's doing on a firsthand basis, and I just don't agree with it. So I like closing down the border. I have family in a different country, I'm not going to get into specifics, that have applied for visas, tourist visas to come here for 2 weeks, but that have been denied, but yet the border is wide open. I don't agree with it. So yes, I do agree with Trump in that for that aspect.
Do you think the border is wide open right now?
Now,
not
no.
now.
Okay, so
No.
then what was different between Biden or Trump coming in office and Biden being in office? That means that the
Trump's first
border
day in
was.
office,
Can I please finish my
the
question?
narrative. Absolutely. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so what was the difference between the Biden administration and the Trump administration? That means under the Biden administration, the border was open, but under the Trump administration, the border was closed.
Okay, Trump was working on the wall. The first day of Trump in office, he sent the military down to the border. You can see the decrease in the number of border crossings just in the 2, 3 weeks that he's been president.
Okay, so in the number of border crossings, did you know at the end of Biden's administration, there were lower levels of border crossings at the end of Trump's administration, right in 2021?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that? It cut out.
Yeah, did you know that at the end of Biden's administration, there were lower levels of border crossings than the end of Trump's administration in 2021?
Well, I know that Trump was working on the wall, and right now, what I'm really supportive of is these ICE raids and
Wait, before we
getting
do,
rid
can
of
you
the
at least
criminal.
acknowledge? Can you at least acknowledge that it was not secure? The border was not secure. The border was open under Trump's administration at the very end of his administration, in his first term.
I
Yeah,
don't know
because hold
specifics.
on, wait. When Trump tried to do something about it, wasn't he weren't they told not to put up the wire fences and all that when they put up the razor wire
Okay, so what you're talking about
and they
is
were told to.
under.
The Biden administration, didn't they tell the governor of Texas that he had to remove it within
Yeah,
24
so
hours?
so yeah, what about that?
Yeah, so what you're referencing is actually the fact that there was federal jurisdiction over the border. So federal border agents are not able to do their job if the state of Texas particularly put the razor wire there. So it actually limited federal border agents from being able to do their job because there's federal jurisdiction over the
Who
border
did that?
and it
Who
is
stopped
not
them?
state jurisdiction.
Well, who
Okay?
stopped them? Who was it that stopped them? It was the federal
The
government.
courts.
That's it. No one
It was the
else.
courts.
The courts under what political power? Were they Republican or Democratic?
Both.
Who would they had to have been under a political Republican or Democratic? Which were they?
I'm pretty sure that there wasn't like a particular affiliation just
So
attributed to one,
neither.
like
So
a
they were
single
neat. So
affiliation.
you're
And
telling me they were
unless it
neither.
was Republican. I know it was either a Republican or it was not like a particular affiliation, right? Because there would be both Democrats and Republicans
That voted against that. That voted
that
against the
voted to
barbed
uphold
wire.
this,
So
uphold
I don't
federal
know about the full
jurisdiction,
facts about it because I didn't look at who all voted it in, but I would
to
have to look at the.
federal jurisdiction. That's all it is.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure it's mostly Democrats, mostly of the administration that Biden had. So it is because of
McKenna,
the
thank you for the
Biden
$5. That's
administration.
your assumption. Would you like to provide any source indicating that?
Well, you're right because I would have to read much
Courts
more
are
on it.
typically bipartisan, I would just say.
Okay, I'll read more on it to better argue that because I can't say much on that because I don't really care about the border to be honest. I mean, Trump did make it easier for people to become legal.
Hmm.
My family were able to.
Can I ask you guys a
So
question? Would you let someone legally immigrate into the country if they were held civilly liable of sexually abusing a woman?
would I let somebody come in legally if they sexually assaulted someone in Mexico? If
What?
they came in,
I
so
didn't
you
even say Mexico. I just said, would you let someone legally immigrate into the country if they were held civilly liable of sexually abusing a woman?
from anywhere, just from
Anywhere,
anywhere.
yeah.
I mean, if they came in legally,
Basically, he's trying to say that I'm really sorry, Brandon, but
hold on,
basically he's just trying to say
and
that
if they
if
did
you
it,
wouldn't
hold
agree,
on.
then you wouldn't support
I
Trump
agree.
because
Yes, if they, I don't care what they did in their country. If they came in legally and they do it legally, and our country allows it to, by the way they do it, then that's the way our system is done.
Wait, you think someone held civilly liable of sexually abusing a woman should be able to legally immigrate to the United States?
If that person is allowed to, and now if they are
No,
not,
I'm
and they
asking, do
cannot
you
come
think
in,
they should be allowed to?
if it allows them to, yes. If it does not, then
No, I'm
no.
asking you, do you think if you had the ability to
That's how I think. That's how I think.
listen,
That's my
listen.
opinion.
I understand. If you had the ability to determine whether or not they were allowed into the country, would you allow them?
Oh, if I had the ability,
Yes.
no, no, they wouldn't. They wouldn't
No,
be.
they
They
wouldn't.
wouldn't be allowed in the
Okay,
country.
okay, so why do you have harsher standards on who should be able to be allowed to be a citizen in the country comparative to who should be allowed to be president of the United States? Because I think that not all citizens are qualified to be president of the United States. I.e., you think Joe Biden's not qualified to be president, yet he's still a citizen?
I don't care about Joe Biden. I don't. I don't. I
I'm just
never said that.
I'm giving you an example. Jesus Christ, dude.
Oh well, you're just putting words in my mouth at the point. At that point, though, I don't care if Joe Biden was president. I don't care who really is president. I just like the way Jean Carroll. I could care less about one person. Eugene Carroll is not the
You
whole
don't care
world.
about a person being sexually assaulted is crazy.
So what do you do again? For people that are essayed, what do you do?
I advocate for them to be believed.
What?
I
Okay,
advocate for
so
them
tell
to be
me
able to
who have
hold
you
their
helped?
abusers accountable on a live in
Show me
front of
who you've
thousands of
helped.
people every day.
Show me who you helped. Show me. Give me names, or just prove to me
Look at the
that you've
chat.
helped
Type three in
anyone.
the chat if I have helped in any way.
Darn, you about to show me all the people that have been
Look at the
essayed
chat.
in this
Just
chat?
look at the chat.
Oh, so all of them have talked to you about essayed? Every single one of them? Yeah,
Or they've
they're
learned
just,
something, or they've existed in a community that's been affected by the fact that I've
and you think
normalized
that
the fact
helps?
that people should be able to come out about this. I think that's a good thing.
Oh, darn. I guess you're a therapist, then you should be a therapist. Then you must know it all. You must have really thought you helped because they typed in a three. Mm, damn. I guess we should just send them. I guess all the SA victims we should just send to Parker, and he should help them. And as long as they send a three, we should believe that he helped them.
hmm
Darn. Good job, Parker. Why haven't you got your therapist degree or something? Why aren't you out there actually helping doing some actual job or something that can help people then if you're so good at it?
An actual job? Can you define what a real job is?
A 9 to 5, anything. You have to get up early and punch in the clock
Does
and
Donald
then
Trump
punch
have a nine
out.
to five? Does
Well,
Donald Trump
Trump is
punch
the
in and punch out?
Well, presidents, anything political, I
Okay,
feel like is a whole
yeah,
nother story.
politicians.
They run the they run the
That's not
country,
a
so
nine
it's
to
a whole
five.
nother
That's not
story.
punching in and punching out.
They run the country, so that's a whole nother
So
bigger
what is a
job.
job?
That's a different type, a job, a job that running the country, anything protecting the country,
No,
helping
I
the
didn't ask
country
for an
out.
example. I asked you what's the definition of a job.
Oh, a definition of a job where you work,
I am
get
working.
paid.
I do get paid.
Well, you get paid from us. You get paid from donors. It's not exactly working. It's not
That is
work.
still
It's just
working.
radiation.
I'm working.
It's called streaming, and
Yeah,
you get paid from
yeah, and
people
I'm
that pay
working
you.
in order.
And you get
Streaming
hold
is
on,
working.
and you get